Hello guys, today we got a very short video from 4.2, pretty much converting between degrees and radian measures. Now many of you might be asking yourself, what's a radian? Pretty simple. Radian is a new measure we're going to be using a lot from now on. Pretty much half the time we're going to be working with degrees, the other half with radians. Now, you should all know that, a degree is pretty much an angle measured. The problem is, you know how open the angle is, but you don't know how long the terminal side is. There is no longitudinal relationship between the angle, how open it is. But radians, you say radians or rads. It is a combination of an angular measure and a longitudinal measure, distance. So right now, just know that's one of the benefits of working with radians. You not only get an angle measurement, but also a distance. Now, the only thing you really need to know right now, we're gonna go into radians in more details later on, is that in an entire circle, no matter the size, doesn't matter if the radius is 1 inch or 5 billion kilometers, doesn't matter because it's a ratio or relationship. The circumference of any circle will always be 2 pi radians. Always. That's the circumference of a circle, 2 pi radians. And we also know that if I were to take an angle measure, there are 360 degrees in a circle. So pretty much 2 pi radians equals 360 degrees. That's pretty much going to be the conversion rate. But there's an easier way to convert. Instead of using 2 pi radians and 360, I could just use half and it's going to be the same. I could use pi radians, and instead of 360, since I'm only doing half a circle, it would be pi radian is equal to 180 degrees. That's the actual conversion measure we use to simplify. Now, just in general terms, the circumference is 2 pi radians. Half the circle would be half of 2 pi radians, or just pi radians. Quarter would be pi over 2 radians, and you can just continue dividing in that fashion. Now, how do you convert? You'll see in physics, they're either going to give you a degree measurement or a radian measurement. All you have to do is use the exact same conversion ratio, 180 degrees equals pi radians. But what you want to do is, this is going to be you're gonna list it as a fraction. It's either going to be, let me find another marker real quick. Sorry about that. Just to make sure you can see this easier. Okay, so we're always going to be using a fraction to convert, and it's going to be either 180 degrees over pi radians, or you're going to use pi radian over 180 degrees. Which one will we use? Easy, depending on what they give you. You always want the unit you want to get rid of, in this case degrees, in the bottom. In this case, I want to convert radians to degrees, so I want to get rid of pi radians. That's going to be in the bottom. So what's going to happen? You're going to multiply this by the fraction you need, pi radians over 180 degrees. What's going to happen is this degree unit will cancel this degree unit, and all you got to do is multiply. And you can leave pi radians like if it was an x. So you could say, 17 pi radians, 17x. You don't actually have to multiply. Well, you shouldn't even multiply that in your calculator. So the answer, all you have to do is divide 17 by 180, and the amount you have left over, you're going to have that amount, pi radians. So again, you divide 17 by 180. Whatever that gives you, you just stick a pi radians after that, and you're done. Now let's look at this case, 5 over 6 pi radians. Again, I want to use this conversion fraction because I want to get rid of pi radian, and the one you want to get rid of should always be the denominator. So I'm gonna equal this times 180 degrees over pi radians. The pi radian will get rid of the pi radian. Now you're just gonna straight up multiply. 5 times 180 is 900 degrees over 6. We're gonna divide this 150. So this would be equal to 150 degrees. And that's how you convert from degrees to radians and radians to degrees. Now note, you will have to work with fractions, so if you're not comfortable with fractions, make sure you practice or you ask me in class. This is pretty straightforward. It is very useful for SATs because you do get questions about radians and degrees. So remember, any circle, no matter the size, is 2 pi radians. Any circle, no matter the size, is 360 degrees, the interior angle. Or, you know, the degrees needed to do an entire loop around the circle. You can do the conversion factors or conversion ratios we talked about. That's pretty much it. And again, remember the difference between radians and degrees. Degree is just an angular measure. Radians is a combination of angular and distance. So it gives us a little bit more information. Again, you'll be able to know how radians work a little bit later on, but for the moment, all you need to know is, again, the entire circumference of a circle is 2 pi radians. So that's it for today. Have a great day.